Hey everybody, welcome back. So today I just want to hang out with you a little bit. I prepared these 3 decks, and this is an Astral VR to Lennon, and I think she did like a buddy reading or something with Marlene. She had a very strong tarot reading on camera a while ago, and yeah, this is this is my VR to that, because the spread, I think Rachel Pollack came up with it. And the first question was already so deep. It's, what is the soul? Now, obviously, talking about soul and then starting with what is the soul, and you pull a card for that, that's some really deep stuff, all right? And even though that's very tempting to just do the same reading, she already did it. So you guys just, if you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and watch hers, all right? Because she makes really good content, in my opinion. It goes deep. She has thought Thursdays, the way she said it, right? And here we have the positions of this spread. It's what is the soul, how to make soul, what does it demand of us, what does it give us? Now, what I'm going to do, since the soul reading has already been done, I'm going to share something with you. Lately, I've been working with my inner teenager. Yes, folks, it is because of my age, right? I'm finally old enough to work with not only my inner child, but also my inner teenager. And I know my patrons, they already know about this because I share these things way in advance, and I share my thoughts and experiences, etc. And this is also my chance to say thank you to my patrons over on Patreon. And without further ado, we're going to get into this spread, and it's going to be what is the inner teenager, how to make inner teenager, what does it demand of us, right, to do this inner teenager work, and what does it give us? So let's see what these cards tell me. Now, obviously, I'm going to be using my inner teenager deck. And this is way more than that. It's a dedicated deck, but also, for obvious reasons, it's my inner teen deck. So, let's get into it, right? Let's see. What actually is the inner teenager to me now? Because these are interesting tarot questions. You know, I just felt like, hey, let's explain a little bit why I'm even doing this, because it might seem completely random. Since it's such good, basic, but deep, meaningful question, what is the soul? Not just the subject, right? The soul, but actually, what is it? Is a good question to me. We can actually use that question for anything. We can use the tarot to make sense of everything. We already knew that, right? But we can do what is anything. What is the ... Fill in the blank. And for me, my first thought here was, what is the inner teenager? Let's just do, you know, this weird, strange personal work. That I'm currently invested in. See what it gives us. The inner teenager is the 3 of Wands. Ingenious and savvy. And we have this cunning fox, and then the mountain, which is a curve next to the straight wands. So 3 of Wands to me is the adventure card. But then also here there's the savvy, ingenious, the cunning. I think this means that just I'm riding that wave, right, of this inner teenager work. And I don't know yet, even though it's been a while since I started this work, where exactly it's going to bring me, because I'm not doing it for the result, for any result. I don't know where it's going to take me. I don't have that lust for result, which then makes it a more pure and magical process. Just like the inner child work, very meaningful to me as well, with the tarot throwback, etc. Actually using tarot for that. Yeah, this is go on that adventure and do that fully. The inner teenager itself is this tumultuous beginning of the adventure still, isn't it? It's so fiery, and it's all about that growth. And it's true, we don't know who we're gonna be yet, where this adventure of life really is gonna take us when we're actually a teenager. And same for when you're bringing the inner teen back. It's not something you can force. It's a call, I think. And all I can do is listen and lean into it. And I like how fiery this deck is, Crow's Magic. And I get a fiery card. And then also it's such a card that is about breaking boundaries, right? It's about breaking free. It's about going on that adventure and needing to let go of something, let go of even maybe the duality of what you thought was you. Up until a certain point in our lives, we think we know who we are, or we think we know who we are through what we do, or the things we own, or what our parents told us we're supposed to do, what school teaches us. And then the rebellion comes along, right? Rebellion comes around, and it's time to, I was gonna say make sense of things in your own way, but honestly, the way through to that is a whole lot of chaos and confusion and uncertainty and not knowing what's beyond. It's actually a proven a thing in the brain, a chemical something that happens in the brain, a chemical reaction that happens in the brain when we are in puberty, when we're teenagers. When we're little kids, right? We get attached, of course, to our parents because we realize they take care of us, they love us. Yeah, we are taught these things, these basic things. The foundation is set, hopefully. Yet, when we turn a certain age, puberty, teenager, right? You get what I'm saying. The brain turns on your parents. The child's brain makes it so that the parents become something to be ashamed of, that their behavior is something to be ashamed of, that the parents become completely stupid in the brain of the teenager. And this is actually, you might think, oh, hormones and rebellion, and it's all just a phase. You know what people say. But actually, it's supposed to be that way. It's nature. It's nature doing its work. You're supposed to, at some point, detach from your parents or your home life, at least. Because if you always kept that idea of, my parents are great, they're here to take care of me. I mean, hopefully a bit of that stays, but if nothing changes, if nothing is added to the equation, then we'll probably never leave. We'll never evolve. We'll never go on our own adventures. We'll never make our own mistakes. So no wonder puberty and the teenage years is a time of loneliness. It can feel so lonely. We're trying to figure out who we are. And it's this big transition. And you're not a child anymore, you're not an adult yet. So, whatever tumultuous things are going on underneath the surface, recalling your inner teenager, there's a purpose. I have to trust that it is about the adventure. It is about breaking free. It is about using your own mind. It is about following your own passions. And it is about personal growth. Also, the whole making mistakes, not knowing what lies beyond. That's the lesson of life, right? That's just always there forever. It's never really gonna change. I don't think I don't think that as an adult I can honestly say I have it all figured out. Are you kidding me? Of course not. Of course not. But that's also because we're weirdos, right? Me making this video, you listening to this ramble, and we're into tarot and these types of questions, impossible things, to try to answer impossible things, try to learn. But this is also how we know that we are forever the fool. Doesn't matter what age or phase of life you're currently in. So it's about making mistakes, but then also learning by doing to fix your mistakes. That's what will make us ingenious and savvy. What is the inner teenager? What is the teenager? Definitely finding your own way. I love that we got the adventure card. That is so good. The next question, how to make soul, actually, originally, but how to make inner teenager, because let me explain why this question makes sense to me. It's because I'm really leaning into this work. Just as I was leaning into the inner child tarot throwback thing, it was healing. This, though, I'm not looking for healing. I'm looking for embracing. I'm looking for, I don't want to say solving. No, embracing. I said it. I'm looking for embracing something that never left. I don't even know how to explain it without sounding completely corny. Self-acceptance and not discriminating in what it is I accept of myself. There. That's what it is. So, I mean, this inner teenager is part of my personality still, you know? It is still, we're still talking about soul in a way. How to make the inner teenager. I could complete that question with how to make the inner teenager come out, or how to come out wherever you are, or how to make the inner teenager live, how to express the inner teenager, how to embrace the inner teenager, how to awaken her. Again, a 3. Wow. Okay. 3 of Cups this time. Fruition, realization. Yeah, drink that whole thing. Don't hold back. Somehow, the word ashamed popped into my head, because definitely I was trying to explain just now how I'm trying to embrace every aspect of me, and inner teen has a lot of layers of, frankly, crap to keep some parts of myself hidden. And therefore, I gotta be honest, and this is not to sound dramatic or whatever, it's just the way it is. I never dealt with many things, with many of those things. Yeah. They kind of just went away because they were buried. I realize now, by saying this out loud, I cannot possibly be the only one who experienced that, who lives through that. And it's not about threatening and awakening the beast. It's about, well, Isn't it shadow work in the end, right? To kind of like bring these things back to life, realize they're a part of me, and just accepting it and being open about it and not feeling ashamed. Because why did these things end up down there hidden in the first place? Because of shame. And there's a lot of uncomfortable, everything is uncomfortable during those teen years. So uncomfortable. And I must say, as an adult, definitely less uncomfortable, okay? But it's layers. It's layers. These are cups, I know, but somehow they look like shovels to me right now. And this is like a tunnel. It's like a well. And I'm going deeper and deeper into the layers of it, back into what truly is actually hidden inside of me, in my heart, in my head, even in my body. Things were just... I decided one day I was gonna stop the craziness, I guess, or the confusion. But that doesn't mean it does anything good for you. That doesn't mean that you grow. And here we're talking about growth. 3 is growth, isn't it? It's a transition. And you're still just starting. This is the heart, the water, the feeling. Oh my gosh, it's about feeling it. So I like that the fire is igniting, it's fueling that probably incredibly strong river that is here for me. So how to make it, you get it, right? I try to alter the question. It's just simply by doing it, deepening, diving in, and most of all feeling, because that is something that, I don't know about you guys, but I got really good at repressing at some point. And that obviously started early, I was going to say childhood, no, early teenage years. Early teenage years, I started to learn how to not only suppress my emotions, but also control my facial expressions. So I went completely blank whenever something happened I didn't like. It's no good, It's no good because you keep so many things bottled up inside. That's also funny, that expression, keeping things bottled up, and here I get cups. So yeah, taking off the cap, popping the fizzy champagne of shadow, and yeah, pouring out the liquid, even if it's poison. Let's open it up. Let's see what it does. Let's pour the shadow wine. Let's pour it. I have to feel it someday. I can't not deal with these things. It wouldn't make me whole. Yeah. Okay, interesting. So, what does it demand of us? What does the inner teenager demand of us? There was a lot of that in this reading already, but let's see what we get. Four of Wands. We're staying really close together, Okay, so this is a wolf, okay? Lone wolf. With kind of a ragged fur. We got the full moon, it's howling, stamina and potency. So this is interesting because this card makes me feel joyful. Like, yeah, celebration, that part of what the card means, but then also it's so nostalgic. There's so much feeling because after all, I don't think the guidebook agrees with me, but when I look at this little fellow, he's lonely. he's alone, and he's howling. He's doing something that is instinctual to him, you know, howling at the moon. I don't even think wolves actually do that, but but it's a cry. It's almost a cry for help, and at the same time it's a cry because you have to let it out. Is that what this video is? What does it demand of us? To let it out and to make something positive of the negative. Because honestly, here I am being a little bit of a brat, right? There's nothing wrong, and yet I feel this very strong pull towards looking up these problems that, yeah, I mean, I have to admit, I did bury them. They're supposed to come out at some point. Actually, I feel maybe their boiling point has been reached, and so instead of, I don't know, getting into problematic stuff, I'm dealing with it, right, through my magical practice, my tarot practice, and now even sharing it with you guys. I mean, this is actually insane to me, but I'm saying all these things out loud, and that is part of the process. I have to howl. Wow, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go, you know, that deep, but it is deep. I want you guys to understand that it demands of us to go through the whole big thing, go through it, and allow to be washed by that, whatever the fuck this is, something that sticks. But then to come out and still breathe and cry and laugh and scream and express yourself and to make, again, as I said, something good out of something that could have been bad, because it's recognizable. At least you recognize yourself finally in what you're doing, and you can be proud of yourself for actually dealing with the stuff. And maybe also, I don't know, but I like to keep that in mind. Perhaps other people recognize themselves in what I'm saying here. That might help. So it's not just about doing something good for yourself, right? Maybe it starts there, but truly it's getting that community full circle. Because, yeah, I guess I see a bit of karma in there too. People who hear the cry, right, who understand that, how, understand what it means, are attracted by it, and you can heal each other. And again, heal by lack of a better term. I guess you can hear each other. Yeah, so start of a new foundation, innit? And the stamina and potency. Stamina to keep going. Yeah, very important, because at some point I know there's going to be a point where I'm like, this is enough. I'm done. But I have to keep going. Yeah. To keep 3 to 4, keep growing, right? Keep trusting the process, keep following the steps, even though I don't really know what they're supposed to be, but something is happening, and I think it's good. In the end, it's gonna be good. And it's okay. In the end, it should really be something that never ends, right? It's something that you keep working on, because this is, yeah, it is some shadow stuff. What does it give us? Last card. What does it give us? You guys seeing this? What does it give us? And we get a major arcana, the wheel. Cycle and fate. Wow. Wow. Okay. I don't want to do any necessarily, predictive readings, but first thing that pops into my head, I have to trust that too, is I'm finally then entering a new cycle. It's weird, isn't it? But it's true. This whole thing, it feels like something I have to do. And because I'm finally revealing and I guess opening up these parts, I can finally have some sort of maybe some sort of a closure or acceptance, or what is that word? Either way, I like that. I feel like I always point this out in this card, but we have the Velociraptor right there. And so it's the Wheel of Fortune through time and space. It looks like a UFO. This deck is nuts. I love it. And so yeah, that also makes sense for what I'm doing now, right? Because you could consider this time traveling, just like the inner child thing. This is saying hello to myself as a teenager. And it looks like it's giving me this experiment, or this work is giving me the ability to really look at myself and uncover. That's probably the word I was looking for. Uncover these hidden parts of me, and some parts I know they're hidden from myself. And it's just trying to fill the gaps in the timeline. Because, as I said, I got really good at hiding feelings. But that also means, I don't know if they're 100% related. They are related, but I don't know if it's cause and effect necessarily. But I have some serious gaps in my memory. There are many, many things, even important, like milestones in my life that I just don't remember. There are many things I don't recall. And it's a shielding thing, I think. Maybe this is the other side of that shield, right? To see what exactly I was protecting, or I was trying to keep safe, or I was trying to not say and not express. So it gives us change. It gives us a new cycle. It gives us the red thread and the little dots in the timeline to kind of sew together, make a chain, right? Also, I see, it's just so random, but the big planet with the small planet, probably just a planet with its moon. It's the big you comforting the little you. That's so good. That's so helpful. So powerful about these types of inner workings. It's about looking at it, really, really taking the time to so-called fix yourself. Really taking the time to understand even those years. Why not? Do the time travel thing. It makes life better now. Because it can't make it better then. But at least we're doing something for ourselves now. And again, for the people around us. And finally, also, by the way, we get a card from Crow's Magick. It's not a crow, but at least it's flying animals, right? So there's that sense of freedom and flight. The wheel of change. Yeah. What does this work give us? Or what does the inner teenager give us? It gives us release, and it gives us a voice. It gives us a more complete image of the self, and a more complete should I say more complete soul? I don't know, a more complete you. Yeah. Okay. This this was my reading using Crazy Deck. It's definitely interesting to see that we're starting off, even though it's fire, we're starting off with this hill, right? This mountain, the horizon that goes uphill. So we're starting off basically near the ground, and then here, I recognize this in today's reading as a well, so we're deepening. But then again, we come out of it because this howling wolf standing on top of his mountain howling at the full moon, right? And then apparently we're flying. It's time to take off, time to finally ascend. Yeah, so these were my 4 cards. Let me know if anything here resonated, if you're doing similar work. How's that going? Maybe I'm giving you ideas here. And thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I'm just gonna go. Thanks everybody for being here. See you next week. Bye.